All right. So Tech won again. Let's talk about it. We're 8-0, 5-0 in the ACC. I think it's our first 5-0 start, they said. And of course, it's the first 8-0 start since 1966. We've had a long day today. Who would have thought a noon game would be such a long day? But it was our homecoming game, and really, I have little to no complaints about this game. This was exactly what I wanted to see out of the Yellow Jackets this afternoon. That we would come out there and make a statement game, that we would not only beat Syracuse, but we would beat Syracuse by a large margin. And the spread coming into the game was 17.5, and we won by 25, 41-16, and it didn't start out like it was going to be that way. Second offensive play, we get the ball first. Isaiah Canyon gets a big pass that goes into Syracuse territory, but it gets ripped out of his hands, and Syracuse recovers the fumble and goes down there. And I was like, at that point, I was like, we can't let Syracuse hang around and get those lousy turnovers. They go all the way from the 42 to the 1 on one play, and somehow, some way, our defense sticks it out and forces a field goal. So Syracuse only took a 3-0 lead, and that was really the only point in the game where they really had any control of the game. From there, it was pretty much all Tech. We went down after that, and it seemed like Haynes King was going to hit Josh Beetham for a touchdown, but his brain was ahead of his hands, and sometimes that happens to young tight ends, young receivers, and it just went off his hands. He oversailed it, I believe it was Rivers in the left corner of the end zone on third down, so Aiden Burr tied us up. And from then on, Syracuse had trouble getting to midfield a little bit in the second quarter, or around the late first and into the second quarter, and we got the ball back, and it was a little bit of a grind. We got to 4th and 1 on our second scoring drive, and Haynes King hit Josh Beetham again for the touchdown, went up 10-3, got another big stop, got the ball again, and he goes in from there. Haynes gets a touchdown. We're up 17-3, looking good, looking strong. And then we stop them on 4th down in their own territory and get in the scoring range, and Aiden Burr gets a field goal right there at the end of the half to make it 20-3. All what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the Yellow Jackets really expand on offense, be in control on offense, and I wanted to see the defense step up. But then Syracuse gets the ball to start the second half, and they go right down 2 plays, Collins to Gill, and they make it 20-10. And that was when I thought maybe they'd hang around a little bit, and maybe it would be like one of those Chan Gailey games where you knew we were going to win. We just sort of let them pitter-patter around for a while. They had Haynes on 3rd and long on the next drive, and he was pressured, but he wound up throwing a loop pass over the head of the defense to Zion Taylor for a big first down, which led to another touchdown. And from then on out, scored again, and Syracuse got a touchdown, didn't get the 2-point conversion, and then we got another exclamation point touchdown from Haynes King, who had a phenomenal game. 395 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. He had a phenomenal game. We were all chanting Heisman because, you know, he is in the running for the Heisman, or at least in the running to get an invite to New York when they present the Heisman. You you never know how those things are going to go. And personally, I never saw that coming. I never saw any of this coming at the beginning of the year. This is new territory for me as a Yellow Jacket fan. It's incredible to me that we're already 8-0. I pegged this as an 8-win team. Maybe I didn't have enough faith. Maybe I just didn't know how this team would flesh out. But we're 8-0, and this is our first 8-win season at all since 2016. It's been a long time since we've won 8 ball games. So to have them right in a row, it's like a culture shock overnight. And now we have a quarterback that is even in the same sentence with the Heisman Trophy. Haynes definitely put up a Heisman caliber game today. He was sharp. Outside of maybe a couple plays, he was consistent, and the offense really complimented him. I was a little worried about Malik being out today, but I knew we had so many weapons that it was kind of like, just one guy not being able to show up to work. You still got a lot of people you can rotate shifts around, and everybody really pitched in today. Luke Harpering had a couple good passes. One of the impact players of the game that I have is Josh Beetham. Yeah, he had 2 drops. He also dropped another sort of shovel pass, but he did get 2 touchdowns on the day. Zion Taylor, Isaiah Canyon, Bailey Stockton had a couple big catches. So really, it was sad we didn't have Malik, but I don't know. Really, the game probably would have been about the same with him than without him. And being down Amari Harvey and Akilo Stone in the defense, kind of struggling there, especially in the secondary. There were some times where Syracuse tried to break out and pick us apart downfield. Open field passes are still a struggle for us. But there was nothing really from Syracuse that made me think this could be a problem going down the stretch of the game. Ricky Collins actually did better than I thought he was going to. I mean, Syracuse had over 300 yards of offense. So, the score won't reflect it. I mean, yards don't win games, points do. But the ultimate scoreboard won't reflect how quick and down the field Syracuse was on a few plays. I mean, they got a lot of yards. They were competitive, as competitive as they could be, I suppose. Ricky did a little bit better than I thought. I said this game was 42-20. I was pretty close again. Just because, and I don't claim to be any brilliant mind about football. I really don't. But I just sort of know how these teams go. And we were able to really dominate, and it's very important because all throughout here on TikTok and throughout all of social media, I'm seeing people call us frauds. I'm seeing people call us overrated. And you know what? If you're in the place that Georgia Tech is in right now, there's no such thing as bad publicity. I'll take it. I'll take people calling us overrated. Years ago, you all didn't even know we existed, especially when the Bulldogs won back-to-back national championships. It's like, there's another D1 team in Georgia? Are you serious? Nobody knew we existed. But now it's like every time we win a game, people are hating on us, that we don't deserve to be here. If I hear one more comment about the Wake game, y'all, I'm not going to talk about the Wake game anymore. I've gone on and on about it, and so have you. It's yesterday's news to me, okay? No amount of talking about it is going to change the result of the game. Let's just end it. This was a statement game, though. This was us finally saying that we are going to beat a team and beat a team convincingly that we should beat. Okay, and we should beat convincingly. So NC State is next, and that's the only game on my mind. Hopefully we have a good crew traveling to Raleigh. I know a few people that are, so go Jackets.